Alright, we're here with 4K TV. We're here with 4K Podcast, 4 Kings, 4 people just talking about mental health and different topics. I'm Sharif Johnson from Saginaw, Michigan.
What's up, everybody? Lamont Davis, West Bloomfield, Michigan.
What's the deal? Malik from Detroit.
And I'm Will Murphy from Canton, Michigan.
So we got a little lineup, but we probably gonna go off topic. I'm pretty sure we're gonna do more episodes. I just don't know what the fuck we're gonna talk about outside of mental health.
Alright, so we're going to start it off with what is mental health to you in your own definition? So, somebody want to talk about, like, to you, what is your definition of mental health?
I mean, I don't have like a set definition per se, but I would say, mental health is, taking care of not just your physical well-being, but your emotional, your thought process. I don't think people realize how much that really affects your mood, how you go about your day, and just having a check on the things that you're thinking about and how that's affecting you on an everyday basis. I think that's mental health.
Yeah, so for me, my definition of mental health would just be like psyche, how people think, how people operate, how people are. Because, for example, like mental health even affects you physically. Like, yeah, we want to be, at least some of us want to try and be the best physical shape, but your physical body don't mean nothing if your spirit and your mind isn't operating. The spirit and the mind is very connected, and if your mind isn't right, you're not gonna want to eat. You're not gonna want to get up and do stuff. You're not gonna want to be physically fit. Mental health to me is the most important type of health because for example, you can back in like '08 during the recession, you had all these multi-million-dollar people killing themselves. They mentally couldn't handle that their companies and themselves are losing millions of dollars, but somebody would look at it and be like, they're worth millions of dollars, they're like part of these hedge funds and huge corporations, why would they kill themselves? Mm-hmm. So like you can be poor, have great mental health, you can be rich and have shitty mental health, like it just really don't matter.
Mental health to me really is saying like, how are you feeling? So emotionally, mentally, spiritually, for me, especially that spiritual part, just because of my background, growing up in a spiritual and religious family, coming to college, it's like, how do I find my own spirituality? It's saying like, how am I feeling and am I managing myself enough to say like, am I balanced this week? Am I happy? Just as much as my mental health is important to me, my friends' mental health is important to me. Like, it's final season. Checking in on my friends, saying like, how are you feeling? Are you doing self-care right now? Like, if you're in my circle, my community, like your mental health is important to me too. So it's saying like, how are you feeling? So, or what are you looking forward to this week? To me, I don't like the question to say like, oh, how are you doing today? Like,
my answer always gonna be, I'm straight, right? I'm straight as hell.
Exactly. You gotta get people thinking outside of the box.
Right.
Yeah, I feel it.
I don't know. I don't like that question. Just because like I know it don't really get people to open up for real.
Right.
It's not genuine.
It's a conversation started.
It depends on who asking, because I personally genuinely care about my friends, and I ask them all the time, like, how you doing today? Like, what did you do today? Like, how was your day? And then I want to hear, how was it? As far as mental health, though, what it means to me, when I was younger, though, like, my uncle, he has a mental issue. He deals with schizophrenia. So, like, I always had this perspective on what mental health is, and it was always like mental illnesses. So like I always thought like, oh well, people who got mental issues, like that's the only thing that mental health incorporates. I never knew about like knowing how to practice your health and your well-being and how that all affects your mental health. Being able to know when too much is too much, or when you're not doing enough, or when you need to take a break back and focus on yourself because you can't pour from an empty cup. So, like, all of those things that incorporates to me what mental health is like, no, I never really considered that until I started coming to college and, like, hearing more about mental health and what it is. Like, I just never knew much about it until I got to college, so.